Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. William Samoei Arap Ruto is planning to meet Mount Kenya members of parliament ahead of his GEMA tour. And while the planning for the tour has taken more news headline than the actual date for the tour, it is very clear that things have hit a snag. In this podcast, we are going to look at the behind-the-scene intrigues about that tour, why the MPs are raising several questions. But before that, guys, I'm shooting this video in the county of Kisumu. Last night, I received a call from this lady here called Eunice. Eunice went to the hospital to deliver a baby. And after that delivery, she went home, but she was feeling pain in the stomach. And I know after that exercise, people, of course, mothers will always think it is an after effect of childbirth. But it persisted. So when she went back to the hospital, the reality that dawned on Eunice is that she was suffering a growth in the stomach. She is in pain. The baby she lost because she could no longer take care of her. Of course, the breastfeeding and all the challenges around it. So as we talk to you, she called me because she's supposed to undergo chemotherapy. And also, if you look at that photo, maji imejaa kwa tumbo. So she's in pain, even struggling. So the doctors are saying she's supposed to undergo some 2 chemos and then another procedure to deflate the stomach, whatever is there, so that she can be relieved. All this is needed urgently. And that is why when she called me, I rushed here. I'll be here for today and tomorrow. I've already told them to book the sessions for Saturday so that the procedures can start immediately. We are told the growth is at still a mild stage, but she is in deep pain. Ladies and gentlemen, find it in your space, find it in your heart to partner with us so that we can be able to support Eunice. There's some drugs that are supposed to be bought tomorrow. So for those who are in Nairobi, there's some drugs that are not in the hospital. So if you're within Nairobi now, within Kisumu now, the lab, is it pharmacy where it's some cancerous drugs, you can reach out to me so that we can have a side chat. I also show you what is needed and you give me a referral, because some of those medicine needed, some of the drugs needed are not in the hospital. Eunice is actually in Russia. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly let us support this appeal urgently. That is why I'll be here today and tomorrow. I'm hoping that by Saturday, if you can be able to get probably, I think, 100,000, because we also need to pay for her SHA for the whole year, because the procedure and of course even the medication will continue even after, and SHA will be able to cover. Kindly support us. Stand with Eunice. This is urgent. Kidogo kidogo umepata, I believe we'll be able to be of support to this lady.
Wanasema maji imejaa kwa tumbo. Madaktari wanasema sasa hiyo maji ikitolewa wafanye chemo wanaweza kudischarge.
Ati?
Madaktari wamesema sasa hiyo maji ikitolewa na ufanyiwa chemo unaweza kuwa discharged.
Ninafanyiwa chemo first. After chemo ndio wananitolea maji. Akishanitolea maji ndio wananitoa hospitali. Scan mako. Kimarriage. Kod mar pesa. Gino mako bor. Gino mako do chunya ka. Kaka bedo. Bira kama bira maka penda. Mapenda tena programa. Tukut. Kut mo kuno manane. Koro kaka yuri tena.
The plan for Murang'a tour, I said it has started. There are more news about I'm going to Mount Kenya than the actual date of even going to Mount Kenya. And that was some time when the president announced that he was going there to launch a road.
The second item that I am very proud of your support and that of the Africa Development Bank is our road infrastructure. You have said it yourself that the dualing of Thika superhighway, and just for your information, now that road is all the way to Maroa in Nyeri. The road now has been dualed from where you left it by the support of your great organization. Now it went to Thika, Thika to Kenol. It was picked up from Kenol, now all the way to Nyeri. In fact, later this month, I will be inspecting that road and the wonderful interchanges that have been rolled out and supporting the whole transport network of that section of Kenya.
The media reports of a heated WhatsApp group chat of the MPs who are being mobilized, and they're supposed to meet the president. The president is supposed to host them in Statehouse next week on Monday. And that meeting is part of, it is a continuation of what Kimani, of what Kithure Kindiki, the delegations that he's been hosting in Tharaka Nithi and Karen. The other factors on table at the center of this State House meeting, where the heated chat is going on, is the trend of parliamentary committees that were taken from Kenya Kwanza, given to Azimio. Majority of those seats only affected the ones from Mount Kenya. Well, these MPs are also arguing that even the president knows that there are several other MPs, even from Rift Valley and Western Kenya, who are not subscribing to the ideals of Kenya Kwanza administration. But it seems the purge is being done selectively. And just to confirm to you that the voices of dissent is not only from Mount Kenya, you need to listen to Mary Emase. Mary Emase is Teso South Member of Parliament.
Alafu baada ya hiyo tunakuja tunakaa tuzungumze, tunakubaliana tena. We create a government of national unity. We create a government of, give them names. Broad-based. Give them names. Next time sijui itakuwa inaitwa aje. We had nusu mkate. Why? Why are we even going into the elections? For what purpose? We inconvenience so many people. Kuna watu wamepigania hiyo serikali kutafuta, waka resign kwa kazi zao, wakachukua nafasi ya waziri, wakachukua nafasi ya PS, amechukua malon, anakaa kwa ofisi miaka 2 nyumbani kwa sababu ya muungano. Talks. We are destroying people's lives. Why? Kwa hivyo mimi naonelea hivi, hii ni maoni yangu. Kama mbunge wa Teso South, hii kura inakuja 2027. Tuache kudanganyana. Si wakubwa wetu wakae chini. William Samoei Ruto, Raila Amolo Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, all of them, Rigiji, si wakae wagawanye nafasi hizo kubwa za juu zote. Watu wagawanye.
It is highly reported that even the removal of Kawira Mwangaza from Meru was a grand scheme to bring the male chauvinists, those male MPs, together so that they can back the president. Several other factors are that Mount Kenya East and a clique of MPs are also raising some red flag that Raila Odinga is being elevated above Kithure Kindiki. And these are some of the factors that are supposed to be at the center of that. Remember, it is both political and development. The MPs are feeling the pressure, and the president has been told that since the hostility, the mountain is already hostile, he should not go with the combative tone, full attack against Rigathi Gachagua, since that can really backfire. The counties of Nyeri, and of course, the planning is about different counties: Nyeri, Murang'a, Nyandarua, Embu, Laikipia, Kiambu, are some of those that are being marked as key hostile areas for the president because of Rigathi Gachagua's infiltration. And just to look at the threat of Rigathi, recently, he was supposed to attend a burial in Kiambaa. And allegedly, one of the sons of the deceased actually went live on camera accusing Kimani Ichung'wah and local member of parliament Kawanjiku to have planted goons to stop Rigathi from attending the burial, and Rigathi Gachagua had to skip that burial. Some MPs have confirmed, a clique of members of parliament have confirmed their attendance, but there are so many other factors that must be streamlined before the president makes his tour to the region. But why are MPs, why are GEMA members of parliament, of course, toning down and asking the president to tone down on the harsh rhetoric against Rigathi Gachagua? I realized of late, he actually slowed down. He's not that much of, he's not really pushing through that. Rigathi Gachagua, has the former deputy president, will clearly push a sympathy card if the president goes after him. Remember, he was in Kameme recently and he said that he has written a will that will guide Mount Kenya for the next 50 years. And so even if something happens to him, the region should not worry. Such conjectures are normally created not because there is any evidence that someone might go after his life, but he has to create the emotional environment to show for it. Ruto heckling, in any case he goes after Rigathi, would actually create a very negative environment, and the response will create a revolt headline. If you go after Rigathi, you might likely be heckled. And if you're heckled, then the headline will be that you've been rejected. So he's taking much of the interest. And one of the things that is worrying the president is about the revolt going on. Are they going to boycott? You need to think about that. Number two, are they going to take that? Are they going to heckle? Will the Rigathi allies infiltrate those meetings? So many questions have been asked about that. But one of the key aspects for me, I'm going to pay attention, is the politics of projects. And Medu is saying there is a project that was promised way back in 2023, and it is yet to be delivered. And this was during a burial. I'm going to pay attention to this. Is the president going to launch physical project already budgeted for and cleared for launching? Or is going to launch projects just on paper? 2 years. We are in half term. Half term. We are paying attention to when you go to Mount Kenya. This is the region you spent most of your time in 2022. The first 1 year of Kenya Kwanza administration, the president spent more time in that region. And that is also another region where the former president Uhuru Kenyatta initiated several projects that were just supposed to be completed. Or is he going to inspect just ongoing projects and tell the people what to expect next? What is your expectation? And keenly, one of the things I've been advocating for, I'm waiting for the day the president would go to Mount Kenya and commission and a complete project by the government. As we talk now, we should be focusing on complete projects, even these ones that Uhuru started. At least you finish those ones, because when you complete those ones, you will have a scorecard. You will have something to present to the people. Of course, there will be the politics of mobilizing crowds and the other perceptions created. There are things I would not want to see. And if Mount Kenya wants to help their constituents, they should not allow these things. But before I look at those things, I need to remind you kindly, help us support Eunice urgently so that she can get that chemo. There are some drugs that are needed that are not in the hospital, and then the procedure to happen. Then we will pay full share so that the rest of the medication will really be covered. I need to do this as early as tomorrow so that urgently she's sorted. I would not love to see the president launching CDF projects, classrooms, and desks like what he did in Nairobi. I think it will not come all the way to go there to launch some feeding program that is being done by area members of parliament or governors. The Mount Kenya governors must also be keen to lock him out of projects that are exclusively funded by the county government, because the president masquerades in some launching, but it's just hijacking projects that have been done by the county government, including markets. Markets is a devolved function, and so I would not want to see, launching federals. We should do high caliber. Now, why UDA MPs from Mount Kenya supporting Ruto are a worried lot? Very worried. And the insiders of that meeting are saying that meeting is going to be really tensed. It's not going to be just a usual discussion, because watu wanataka kufungua roho. Na kwa hiyo spirit ya kufungua roho, watu watafungua roho. Rejection of the president from the region will actually signal their downfall. If the president is rejected there, then what that means is they cannot depend on his persuasion to be able to achieve what they want. They cannot depend on his persuasion. And if president is rejected, they are rejected. So the president is creating the space even for themselves. Number two, there is a big discussion in this country about resource allocation. And after transition happened in the Budget and Appropriation Committee, the resource allocation, there was an accusation of resources going to Mount Kenya. Now, the Raila team that have now hijacked the whole system are taking all the bragging rights of how they want to take projects to Nyanza. So this is also a key factor, because development will be the campaign tool for Mount Kenya politicians. Number three, the president signaled Raila axis producing a deputy. And the recurrent elevation of Raila Odinga is a big worry, because if Raila Odinga is elevated, then Mount Kenya loses the bargaining power. Clear signs that things are not going to be easy. That is my take, ladies and gentlemen. Let's meet in the next. Thank you.